Welcome everyone to the Demon Appreciation Podcast, episode 19. Sorry we're late. Of course, this is a professional podcast, so gotta be late. Joining me today is my good friend KingNarukami. How are you doing tonight, bro?
Good, David. Thanks for inviting me on. And I just want to say the only thing that's going to be late, is SMT V's release date. So I'm just saying.
We're starting strong, huh?
All the time, bro.
Yes, sir. All right, so thanks to all of you guys who are here already. We do appreciate that. Just before we start, I just want to make things clear how we're going to make this work tonight. Basically, this is a 2-minute podcast. It's going to be in the form of an interview, if I can say it that way, because King played and completed Nocturne for the first time, being Nocturne HD, and that is his first mainline game. Audio's low as fuck. All right. Who's low, man? How's the audio? Narukami audio. Okay, cool. I'll raise your volume then. Okay, you let me know if it's better now. Sorry about that. King's
SMT V 2022, baby. Is that good?
Is that good? Let us know, guys. So yeah, interview format. KingNarukami played various different Persona games, so he's familiar with all the mechanics and all of that, but it was his first mainline game. So we're going to take advantage of that because I know a lot of people are new to SMT and Nocturne HD is going to be their first mainline game. So I'm going to ask him my questions that I think you guys will think are interesting. And we also have various different questions from people on Twitter and Discord too. If you have other questions in the chat, as always, you can go ahead and ask them, no problem. All right, so people say you're still low, so I'm gonna increase your voice once again.
She hit the floor, they say you know. Should've got low.
All right, is that better now? I'll wait until it's better before we start this, because kind of want to mention while I'm waiting for you guys to let me know if it's better now. I want you guys to go check out KingNarukami's review for Nocturne HD. He made a very good review, first review on his channel, so you guys go check him out. I linked his channel down in the description below, so you guys can check it out. And go check out his review. Great review, and it's the perspective of someone who's first playing a mainline game, so I think it's definitely an interesting video. Good job on this one, bro, by the way.
Everybody remembers their first time. We all know that.
Yes, sir. Volume seems good. All right, and how about the audio, the music in the background?
I had a little request from VCiPz right quick to do a Kaiba impression, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I summon the Blue Eyes White again. How's that?
Excellent. Hey, shout out to Demi Crow coming in with the support. I'm gonna say he's supporting your side of the war, which I don't particularly appreciate, but thank you for the support, Demi Crow, with of course the message being, I'll let you say it. What's his message? Can you see it?
SMT V 2022, baby.
Let's go. Thanks for the support, Demi Crow. I really do appreciate that. Once again, thanks for letting me know the audio's better. Again, let me know if you have any questions while we're going. No problem here. All right, so what should we start with, man? I have a big list of questions. Let me just ask you, first of all, without going in depth on any particular aspect of Nocturne, what is your general impression?
My general impression of Nocturne is that it's definitely not as hard as people make it out to be. People make it as like this really hard JRPG, like one of the hardest JRPGs ever made. And honestly, if you come in and you want to learn the mechanics of the game, you're going to do just fine. Coming from a Persona fan, it wasn't that hard to adjust. So that's my impression. It's fun. I will admit it's not for every Persona fan. I will say that. Most people, want to go for the social links. Most people don't want to do the gameplay. But if Persona fans would give it a try, I really think that they would enjoy Nocturne. You'll find something in there that you enjoy.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be happy to hear that too, because, man, I don't know about you, but I keep seeing people saying, first time playing a mainline game with Nocturne, I'm jumping into SMT with Nocturne for the first time, so, man, that's really cool. Shout out to our good friend Kuro in the chat, coming in with a $2 super chat. Thank you for your support, Kuro. We do appreciate it. And he says, came here to support my boys. Got to go, I'm streaming. I saw you streaming Nocturne. Have a good stream, Kuro. Thanks for your support, man.
He's been waiting a long time to stream that Nocturne. So
Absolutely.
go ahead and do your thing.
Yes, sir. A great streamer. I very dedicated to his streams, by the way. Like, I surely can't say the same thing about me, so.
Oh, definitely. That's another conversation. Streaming can take a lot out of you.
Yeah, 100%. It's very different, so both of you are better than me for streaming. I'm terrible. I can't keep my schedule. But anyways, back on the topic of Nocturne HD. Oh, we have also another $2 super chat from Peter Parker. Thank you so much for your support, bro. We do appreciate it. He says, congrats on getting a review copy from Atlas. Bro, thank you so much for the support. We were so ecstatic. I'm talking for both of us, right? You remember that day when we got the code? We got it almost at the same time.
Man, I swear, you messaged me, and all these random little letters right here. I'm like, is this guy drunk? Did he did he sit on his phone or something?
I'm never drunk, bro.
You're like, bro, I got it. I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't.
Yeah, dude, we were so ecstatic. But thanks for the kind words, Peter. We appreciate that. Yeah, we're very we're super happy that we got it, and it's like such a big opportunity for us. Like, we both started content creation like kind of recently, so it's awesome. I'm still ecstatic, to be honest.
I think it's more like the recognition from Atlas.
Yeah,
recognizing us as content creators.
Exactly.
And, hey, you influence this group of people right here. We want you to speak on our game.
Exactly. Oh, that means a lot. So, yeah, thanks for the support, Peter Parker. I do appreciate that. So, shall we jump in with this podcast?
I'm ready.
I have a lot to say, so we should probably jump in. All right. Now, I want to hear, dude. I want to hear, what's your favorite RPG? Straight up. I want to know a bit about your background, like RPG background and Atlas background. But first, I want to hear, what's your favorite RPG?
That's a tough question. As everyone knows, I'm the Persona 4 Golden Simp. But I gotta say, I feel like I had a lot more fun with Yakuza Like a Dragon. So I gotta go with that.
Dude, wow.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I'm glad to hear that, dude. Yakuza Like a Dragon, man. Such a good game. Like, such a good game. I enjoyed it so much. It surprised me. Like, at first I got kind of a hard time being excited because, of course, like, we're both longtime Yakuza fan and big fans of the series. So when I saw the switch to turn-based, I was like, "Ooh, that's dope!" Because obviously I'm a fan of turn-based RPGs. But at the same time, I was like, "It's different." So I'm not too sure. But dude, I just like you, I adored it. Such a great game. Such a great game. Right.
So the thing with Like a Dragon for me is that Yakuza actually Yakuza 0 got me into Japanese culture. Without Yakuza 0, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't play Persona or anything. So before Like a Dragon came out, I hadn't really played any turn-based RPGs. So when I heard that, I had just briefly played Persona 5 for the first time. So I'm like, oh, a turn-based game, that's a really different, you know, after 7 games of the same thing, it's like, oof. But I gotta say, amazing JRPG. I'm so glad I got to play others before it, because as you know, David, Like a Dragon is not that easy of a game.
It's not.
Your hand either.
It's. I remember struggling. Like, that's spoilers. There is a returning character that's a boss. You know who I'm talking about, and dude. I struggled. I struggled. I also struggled against, like, the fight that was the hardest for me. Like, that's in the trailers, so it's not a spoiler, but against Majima. Dude, that I really struggled. But this game is great. Great mechanics overall. Fantastic characters. Like, Ichiban had a lot to live up to because, man, Kiryu-chan, I swear, like, he's awesome. He's awesome. So he had a lot to live up to. And Ichiban is awesome, man. I adored this game. Cannot wait for the sequel. And, dude, that's a great pick. I'm really glad to hear that. I'm about to ask you a bit more questions when it comes to RPGs. But first of all, massive shout out to It's a Mouse becoming a Samurai member of the channel. Dude, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate that. I know you've been here yesterday. You were, like, super active in the chat and all of that. And becoming a member today, Wow, dude, I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for your support.
It just speaks on how great of a content creator you
are. Oh, I'm trying.
Now fuck my dick.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for your support. So, yeah, no, Like a Dragon, great game overall, man. Cannot wait for the next. I also want to shout out to the music in that game. Great music overall. Very different from what we had before in the Yakuza series, so, yeah. Oh, and It's a Mouse is saying here, I'm currently on Yakuza 0. Well, dude, you're playing one of my favorite games of all time right now.
And the best place to start in the series.
Facts. Well. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, appreciate the support, so thank you so much, bro. What I want to hear now when it comes to, like, RPGs, I want to hear what other RPG did you play in the past? Like, I know Nocturne is your first mainline game, but I want to hear, like, I want to gauge what are your RPG skills. So what other RPGs did you beat in the past? And we're getting into the Nocturne questions soon, guys. I just want to, have an idea here.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, Yakuza had some RPG elements to it, the older game. Some. Of course, Persona. I played a little bit of Final Fantasy X-2 when I was a little kid and fucking sucked at it and couldn't get past, like, the intro sequence because I was a dumb kid. Other than that, when I was a kid, up until I got into Yakuza and Persona and everything, I mostly only played, like, rhythm games. I used to play Call of Duty a lot. Not really many RPGs. Brutal Legend is one that comes to mind, but it's not really an RPG. That was...
more like an action game?
Yeah, that was like 12, 13 years ago. So, but, I mean, that's about it. I'm not a big RPG guy. I mean, I love RPGs, don't get me wrong. When I heard the phrase RPG or JRPG before I started into the series, I always thought, oh my god, these are 100-hour slog fests, they're hard, and you're going to get stuck if something goes wrong. Mm-hmm. So that's how I felt about it. But other than that, I didn't really play any until Persona 5. So.
Wow, cool. Dude, every single time that I hear something like this, a story like this, I'm like, do you see, guys, did you just hear what he said? Like, stop crying on Persona 5 and dissing Persona 5. Like, this man here just played and completed and enjoyed, mind you, Nocturne because he started with Persona 5. So that's awesome. I'm always glad to hear that.
I will say it took me 3 tries to get into Persona 5. The first time I tried, my girlfriend had the game. I bought it for her because I knew Persona 3, David, was her favorite game. Mm-hmm. So, Persona 5 was coming out. I bought that for her. She was really hyped about it, so I was wanting to see what the hype was about and tried to play a little bit of it. Didn't really get into it because I hadn't really played anything. Tried it for a second time. Had to put it down because I got busy. And then the third time, I could not put it down. So, for all the Persona 5 haters out there, go fuck yourself because it's an amazing game.
It really is.
And it's a gateway into an amazing genre.
Ah, it really is, man. Ah, cool. So, again, one of the reasons why, don't be scared. Don't be scared about the difficulty of Mainline SMT. Like, clearly, I mean, King, you played a couple of RPGs, but not that much. You played Persona 5, 4, 3, right?
Yes.
And you jumped into Nocturne and you did well. You did really well, actually. So that's cool. But we'll talk about that a bit later, for sure. We have a $5 super chat from Demi Crow. Thanks for the support, my dude. Appreciate it. If SMT 5 releases in 2022, David has to stream Jack Bros. By the way, you can emulate it. Dude, Demi Crow, I would probably turn anyone around, but I won't turn you around, and I'll accept your challenge, okay? So 2022 SMT 5. I buy this man here, KingNarukami, a Nintendo Switch eShop card, and I'll stream Jack Bros. We got a deal.
Honestly, I think it's a win if you get to stream Jack Bros.
Probably, man. Probably.
Shout out to my boy Faz. He came in with the SMT 5 2022 comment.
Faz bullies me. He bullies me. He's in every single one of my streams, every single one of my videos. He's like, 2022, go F yourself. Every single time.
That's my man.
Yeah. Appreciate you being here, Faz, though. Thanks to all of you guys who are here, by the way, hearing us rambling about RPGs and Nocturne. Now, speaking of Nocturne, we're jumping in. You ready? We're jumping in. Nocturne. Here we go. Now, you mentioned the RPGs that you played before. You mentioned Like a Dragon. You mentioned Neo Persona, like 3, 4, 5. And now you play Nocturne. kind of a vague question, but I would like to know if you wish there was one particular mechanic that you can find in those other RPGs that you wish was in Nocturne. Like, for example, let's say a fusion mechanic or a certain mechanic in combat or anything. Just any type of mechanic that you would have liked.
This might be a weird answer, but I felt like sometimes, it's not that I didn't pay attention in the game, but it's like sometimes you can get lost as to where you're going in the game, because the game came out in 2003 and navigation wasn't a big thing in games back then. So I felt like if they would have at least, of course you can get all the information you need from like a conversation with the demons, but let's say I go and save the game, I gotta go to bed because I'm on a strict schedule, I gotta go to bed. I won't remember what the hell I was doing next time I open up the game. Mm-hmm. It just slips my mind. So I think something like that, I wouldn't say that holds your hand, but something that can guide you to the next point instead of talking to like one or two particular demons in the open world or a spirit. I think that's something. I mean, obviously, like I said, this is a game for 2003. It's not a remake. It's a remaster. Mm-hmm. There's not really much that they could do about that. Mm-hmm. Unless they added a stupid arrow at the top saying this is where you need to go.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No, definitely not. And you know what? In that regards, they're already better with newer games like 4 Final. Both those games, they give you an objective. You always have an objective of your mission. And it doesn't hold your hand, but it gives you an idea. So to get a clearer picture of where you have to go and who you have to talk to, you talk to people around Tokyo, for example, in SMT 4, and you get to know where you have to go. But you still have your objective letting you know, for example, you have to meet Merkaba, whatever. You have this objective, but it's vague. It doesn't tell you, like, you have to meet Merkaba on this day at this place. It really just tells you have to meet Merkaba and you got to find your way to him. So it's already better in like 4 and 4 Apocalypse. So I think you're gonna get this this feature in 5 probably.
I just think it's a sign of the times that the game was made in.
Yeah.
Obviously, 4 and Apocalypse are more modern games.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not faulting that to Nocturne at all. All I had to do if I ever got stuck was just bring up a fucking walkthrough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Nah.
I mean, but it's not a big issue, but if I had to choose one thing, it would be like one of those things that you mentioned, like an objective, something to guide you, because sometimes when I put down the game, I just forgot what I was doing. I had to go back and see what the hell was happening.
Yeah. And you know what? That's like SMT 1, 2, if Nocturne, all of those are that way, but everything after that is not that way. You always have an objective, but an objective that still gives you and that puts an emphasis on exploration, because it doesn't clearly tell you where you have to go. You still have to explore, talk to people and all of that, but you have the big line of where you have to go, which is cool. Now, I also forgot to mention Strange Journey, which is even older, also has the objective. Oh, there's always an objective. Well, right. Strange Journey is way more linear than the other games, but still. So I think that's not going to be an issue for you when it comes to like newer releases. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to make it more accessible to people. So, yeah.
And it's not like I'm asking the game to hold my hand.
Nah.
Just give me a clear objective and I can figure it out.
Yeah, because...
Not talk to this pixie in Hall B in Section 5 of here to get the clue as to where to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a very good point here. The next thing that I wanted us to talk about is... I just want to have an idea of, like... That's even more vague when it comes to my question here. It says, what is the first thing that hits you when you play Nocturne? What I mean by that is, like, what is the first thing that you were like, wow, like, impressed? The first thing, was it like the music, the design of the game, the atmosphere of the game, the gameplay? One thing.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the music was not the first thing that impressed me because of how compressed it was. But I knew that was the case for the original game as well. So I can't really fault that. And I love the music, by the way. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the soundtrack to the game. I think the first thing that impressed me was the combat system. Honestly. Just not knowing what to expect, because I kind of went to the game blind. I knew that there was a press turn battle system, but I didn't know what that means. Obviously, I heard the terminology used a lot, especially in videos that I've watched. I didn't know what it was, and just to go in and see how in-depth it was. It looks simple from the outside, but there's so much stuff that you can do, and I'm sure we're going to get into that later. But that's the first thing that really hit me. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love this.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because I said that in my review, but like the press-turn combat system in SMT is my favorite combat system of all time in any game, like all genres included. It's just so good. It's like so satisfying too. Whenever you hit a weakness, you get another press turn. One feature that not enough people talk about, and I love how Nam's Compendium, he mentioned that in his video on Nocturne. God damn it, I can't talk tonight. And he said the ability to pass a turn. That's so dope. Like, it really is. You can pass a turn and it starts to blink your icon. Like, people underestimate how much you can do with this feature. Like, there's a ton of strategy that you can accomplish because of that feature. I very often pass turns. It's such a cool feature. I love it.
Can I give you an instance of where that actually helped me? Because there was a fight. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but there was a fight where this enemy is really strong and hits you so hard that you need to beat him in a certain amount of time, because him and his cronies that he has that he summons with him will beat you down senseless. So there's a time I went for a physical build for my character. So I had focus. If you don't know what focus is, it more than doubles your physical attack next turn, and lunge, which does heavy damage to somebody. So I would start my turn off, because my character would go first, of course. Start off with focus. Make sure, like, attack with my next character. Make sure everyone's healed up with my healer. Pass my turn, and then hit the guy hard with my... And maybe even run, like, a defense lowering skill.
Yeah. It's such a fun feature, and this combat system overall, man, I love it so much. I'll say it, it's perfectly balanced. I think Nocturne is perfectly balanced. It's a fair game. The difficulty is just at the right point. Man, I love it. I love it so much. Hey, massive shout out to my man, the homie, Mac, becoming a Samurai too. Thank you so much for your support, Mac, man. I really do appreciate you. Plus, you built my Discord server. So thank you so much for that, man. My server would be a hell. I should show without you. So thank you so much for your support, dude. I appreciate it, man.
I love you, Mac.
Yeah, King loves you, dude. Appreciate your support, man. Thank you so much. This combat system, I want it in SMT 5. I want the press-turn combat system to return. As much as I liked, like, Strange Journeys, I know you're not familiar with it, but the alignment combat system, this is a combat system where, like, it's called the co-op system, I think. It's the name of the battle system. It's like whenever you hit the weakness of an enemy, all the demons of the same alignment as the demon that you use to hit the weakness will attack the enemy. That's a fun system, very fun. But I still prefer the press-turn combat system. It's perfect. I love it. It doesn't get old.
Like I said, there's a lot. I mean, it looks simple from a distance, but once you get into it, and we haven't even talked about, like, dodging an enemy's attack will drain 2 turns, or completely blocking an enemy's attack will end their turns completely, which is huge. That's why you gotta run Sukakaja and stuff. But I mean, if you don't go into the game not wanting to learn the combat system, unless you're on merciful difficulty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, merciful, which is the easiest fucking thing. That's like Persona 5 safety difficulty.
Oh
basically.
Yeah, no. Royal safety.
Yeah.
Even
it's
worse.
Garbage.
It really is.
I mean, it's good for the people that want to experience the story, but the thing about Nocturne to me is that it's not very. I like the story. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as story driven as a lot of other games I've played.
Yeah.
In my life.
Yeah.
So. That's all I gotta say.
It's normal because I thought back about what I said in my review, and in my review I say something kind of similar to what you just said, that like the merciful difficulty is a mode for people that don't necessarily want to experience the gameplay. But now someone commented on my review and said, like, yeah, but to get the full Nocturne experience, the gameplay is like the big focus, the big emphasis is on gameplay. So if you don't profit, you don't have fun with the gameplay, you're not going to enjoy your time as much. And I 100% agree with this person that said that. And how I would rephrase it is, merciful mode, man, it's if you only want the gameplay, because for those of you who don't know, the merciful mode completely, like, I don't know what's the percentage that it increases your damage done to the enemy or damage taken, but it's crazy. Like, you'll hit with a basic attack a 300 on an enemy, and the enemy will hit like a 12 on you. It really is that bad. Like, it's completely broken.
Unfair for the computer.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm pretty sure you can't die. Like, dude, I auto battle Matador with this mode. Like, that's crazy. This is like, well, Matador is considered the hardest boss in the game by most people, and I was able to auto battle him, and not with an OP team, not without any grinding. I just auto battled him. I purposely saved before the Matador, switched to merciful, clicked auto battle, beat his ass. That's crazy.
Matador isn't the hardest boss in the game right now. It's just a meme.
Matador is overrated. He's not that hard. I'm 100%
I beat him
agree.
my second try. If you go in, it's because I learned how to play. I equipped a different... So, if you don't know, Magatama is like how it works. If you haven't seen our reviews, which after the stream, of course, go see our reviews because they're pretty fucking awesome. But there's different Magatamas that give you different abilities, which, you know, some will give you physical abilities, but you'll be weak to ailments. Or you'll have a fire ability, but you'll be weak to Bufu skills. Matador has a certain attack that's like, if you figure out what element it is, you can equip the right Magatama and beat him easily, which is exactly what I did. So it's not hard. You just need to learn the mechanics of the game. That's all I got to say about that.
And I really love Magatamas. That whole mechanic is great because it's like trial and error at times. It's like you get into a boss fight, you don't really know what to expect, except if you play with a guide, which I suggest pulling up a guide whenever, like you said before, you pull up your game and you haven't played in 3 days, you don't know where to go, pull up a guide and get an idea. That's cool. But for like weaknesses and all of that, I suggest going in blind. You'll get a better experience. You try to find a weakness, try to find the resistance of the enemies, and it's so great. It really is. So, yeah.
There was maybe one time that I saw an enemy attack, a boss attack me. I didn't know what the hell kind of element he used. Was it mind? Was it force? Was it... I just looked once to see what his weakness is, and just because I really couldn't decipher what it is. So, but I will say, there is one boss fight that you do need to look up a guide for, because if David wouldn't have told me about it on Twitter, then I would have had my ass kicked. But that's something else for a different story. So.
Absolutely. But overall, that Magatamas are great. That's a very fun system. I love to collect them. I love to like swap them. I always swap my Magatamas. It's a very cool mechanic. I love it so much. Like, I'd take a mechanic like this over like all out attacks in Royal any day.
Oh yeah.
Any day. So
there's so much flexibility. It gives you so much to do.
And that's worth a ton to me, at least. As a gamer, I love it when I have, like, once again, I'll bring up, it's kind of related but unrelated, but I'll bring up Yakuza 0. You swap your fighting styles. Same thing. You get, like, different options, alternatives. So that's really cool. Hey, want to shout out T. Somerville with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for your support, bro. I really appreciate it. He says, what's up, bro? Great job on the Nocturne review. Only played P4G so far, but I'm really excited to try Mainline with Nocturne. Keep up the good work. I thank you so much for your support, Somerville. I do appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words too. I'll definitely keep up the work. You guys have been awesome with the support on the channel recently. And dude, you're about to jump into Nocturne Mainline for the first time. You only played P4G. Check out my dude's KingNarukami's review on Nocturne, man. He also only played Neo Persona, and he's jumping into Nocturne for the first time, so I think you'd enjoy his review. So, thanks for the support and the kind words, man. I appreciate it. Alright, let me ask you another question. Are you ready for another one?
I'm ready. Hold on, let me take a swig of my drink.
Can you handle another one?
Dude, I have the tolerance of like fucking, I don't even know, but I have huge tolerance.
Ah, let's go. Dude, that next one works. That's a great transition for what we were talking about here. We always hear that Nocturne is the Dark Souls of RPGs, and it's a super hard game. It's like unfair and unbalanced. What's your take on that? Was it really that hard, even if you're not familiar with Mainline SMT?
First off, Dark Souls is ass. So I'm just saying. I mean, those games are awful. I hate them. I can see why people like them if they really want a challenge, but I didn't find Nocturne that challenging. I've seen people, spend hours on one level of Dark Souls, like my roommates have done before. They'll be stuck on it. I can usually get past the boss within 2 or 3 tries in Nocturne.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal. So I hate when I hear this is the Dark Soul. How did you say the Dark Souls of what?
The Dark Souls of RPGs.
That's fucking stupid. Whoever put that in their review needs to be fired from whatever company they reviewed.
A couple of people have to be fired, I would say. Dude, we have a message here from... Oh my god, I can't read. Retrig202, he says, well, just lost all respect for Narukami. Dark Souls is amazing. Get good.
I've gotten hate for my hatred of Dark Souls. It's not really a hatred. I just find...
I know what you mean.
A game that's made to be hard for the sake of being hard, it's not fun to me. Because I have such limited time with my gaming. And someone turning almost 30 years old and have responsibilities, it's hard for me to... I mostly want to come to a game for fun gameplay and a good story. Yeah. I don't want to struggle.
You know what? My where I stand with Dark Souls while we're at it, I think, well, to me, Dark Souls and all the Souls games, Bloodborne, all of them, it's the same thing to me as like Last of Us, your favorite game of all time. I'm not a fan, but I can tell it's quality, and I understand why people like it. It's just not for me. Same thing for like, you know how I fucked with VC with Kingdom Hearts. I told him it's trash and all of that. It's not trash. It's not for me. I don't like it, but I can say I can see its quality. It's just not for me. So.
Well, according to my girlfriend, who is a big Kingdom Hearts fan, Kingdom Hearts is trash. But
I'll say Tetsuro Nomura is trash though. I really don't like him. I don't like his approach with story and all of that. So no disrespect to him, even if I just called him trash. But...
if you enjoy Dark Souls, that's fucking awesome. Play what you enjoy. I just can't get any enjoyment or fun out of it because that's not my style of game. Yeah. It's like when I was a kid and I wanted to play Guitar Hero on Expert for the challenge.
Yeah. Oh, and VC's here. What's up, VC? You enjoy that Kingdom Hearts talk? My heart, ooch.
Hey, David was not trolling when he said Last of Us is my favorite game of all time. It is.
Yeah, and I can understand that. It's cool. Hey, massive shout out to CRTNN becoming a Samurai member of the channel. Thank you so much, bro, for the support. I really appreciate that. You guys have no idea how much this helps. Thank you so much for the support. The 3 of you who became members today, you can DM me on Twitter or Discord, whatever, because I have an exclusive rank on my Discord server for you guys, and also an exclusive channel on the Discord server where I upload my videos before they're dropped on the main channel for you to see, excluding news episodes. So let me know what's your username, and I'll add you in at the right places if necessary. So thanks for your support, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Definitely we started a debate in the chat when it comes to like Dark Souls and Kingdom Hearts.
You know what, guys? Love Dark Souls. That's fantastic. Not for me. If you like it, that's fine. SMT V 2022.
All right. Time to move on, I'd say. But again, I'm glad you said that, because I think Nocturne is very fair with its difficulty. It's made to be hard, but at the same time, it pushes you to learn the mechanics. That's the thing with Merciful. You don't have to learn the mechanics. You don't have to, because you're fully boosted, and the enemies are like very bad, so you don't have to do anything.
And might I say, I played every Persona game. I played 5, 3, 4G, and then P5R on easy. And I went to Nocturne and had a fun time. and it got the mechanics.
Yeah, you just gotta learn them.
The only reason I put it on easy is because I knew Persona 5 was a 100+ hour game, and I didn't have time for that. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like Nocturne, when you take the time to learn the mechanics, you take the time to realize that you have to swap Magatamas, you have to recruit various different demons, you have to fuse often, you have to use buffs and debuffs. That's the thing. That's the most important thing. Buffs and debuffs can turn a battle around. Yeah. Easy. So that's the most important thing. Yeah, no, in Royal, you don't even need like buffs and debuffs. Even on hard, you don't need them. So that's the thing. It's like, learn the mechanics. If you go in and you just want to rush your playthrough, you're not going to enjoy the game. It's a game just like the Soulsborne game. You have to learn the mechanics. That's what's fun about it. Speaking of the Soulsborne games, we have a $5 super chat from Retrig202. Thank you so much for the support, bro. Appreciate that. He says, I was just teasing about Dark Souls. Once you get it and it sticks, it has a lot to offer. 44-year-old here, so I understand the time constraints. Yeah, it's cool. Again, King and I were at the same place with Soulsborne games. It's like they're quality, but not for us. That's really the thing. But I say that, but I had a lot of fun with Bloodborne. Like Bloodborne in particular, I like the atmosphere of this game and all. But to me, I just don't get as much fun in those games redoing the same boss over and over and over to learn his mechanic than in a game like Nocturne, where I have to like, I don't know, probably because of the fact that it's a turn-based RPG. It's a genre that I prefer over just the regular Soulsborne, which is like an action game, I think. Is that the genre that they say?
And I love action games. I absolutely love them. God of War is one of my favorite games of all time. But it's just like, I don't find enjoyment out of... I have a very, I wouldn't say small attention span, but because of my constraints, I don't really have time to focus on something as much as I did.
Yeah.
And so when I want to throw my controller against the wall because I can't beat a boss, that would have been fun to me when I had more time on my hands, or when I wanted to experience that, like when I was playing Expert Guitar Hero. And I still do, by the way. I'm pretty fucking awesome. But I mean, that's it. If it's your preferred game, that's awesome. Keep on playing.
Yeah, 100%. And Retrig, just want to add one last thing before we move on from Dark Souls. The one thing that I think I get where I'm struggling in those games, it's like, for me, it's harder when I haven't played the game in 2 or 3 days to remember the mechanics and movements of the boss. And it's not as hard to remember weaknesses and resistance of a boss in an RPG, if that makes sense. Like, I'm having an easier time remember that the boss is weak to electricity than to remember that I have to, like, dodge left whenever this boss raises right hands. Like, that's harder for me to remember. And I have, like, minor ADHD, and I don't know. I don't know if that's causing me issues with those action games. I'm bad at all action games, by the way. Like, Bayonetta, I suck. Devil May Cry, I'm terrible. All those games, I'm pretty bad. So I'm just a bigger fan of RPGs in general. Yeah, I gotta get good. That's the problem. But yeah, thanks for the comment. That was an interesting discussion that created. Hey, shout out to Captain Chaz86 becoming a demon tamer for the channel, member of the channel. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate the support. I see you enjoying those emotes in the chat. Thank you so much. All of you members in the chat, appreciate you being here. And I just want to say real quick before we keep going, I have 4 new emotes in the works right now that are coming for the channel. And one of them is Yakuza related. So that's going to be super cool. Adam is drawing them at the moment, and they're going to be ready before all the big events in June. So very exciting stuff. And Captain Chaz, once again, thank you for the support. If you want to DM me on Discord, I'll be able to give you the exclusive role and give you access to the exclusive channel. So thank you so much for the support. And shout out to the 60 concurrent viewers. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all so much, man. So much. Appreciate you all being here. And if you guys could drop a like if you enjoyed the stream, that would mean a lot. And don't forget to check out KingNarukami's review before, or should I say after, we're done with this podcast.
Yes, after. Or if you want to open up a new tab right now and save it for later, that's fine too.
That works too, but I would appreciate if you guys could check him out. So, Rido emotes? I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, Chaz, I don't know why, but when I look at your name, I don't know if anyone here is a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX fan. But whenever I see Chaz, I think of Chaz Princeton and his catchphrase, "Chaz it up." So keep on chazzing it up, Chaz.
I don't know what that is or who that is because I dropped Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's gonna hurt you, but I dropped Yu-Gi-Oh at like after the tournament. I mean the anime, like the first tournament at Pegasus.
For Duelist Kingdom? You dropped that for Duelist Kingdom?
Yeah.
Against Pegasus?
Yeah.
Oh, after that is when it really got good. That's when you saw Kaiba really become an asshole.
I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. Because I loved it. Hey, by the way, I bought the game. I bought the Switch game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. So it's gonna arrive at the
let's
same
go.
time as my Nocturne copy, physical copy. So yeah, we'll play it. But I'll need to get good first. But we'll play it at some point for sure.
Go.
All right.
Jazz it up! Jazz it up in the chat. Let's go!
Yes, sir. All right, let's keep it going. Would you recommend SMT 3 to someone who isn't familiar with Megaten? Like, not even familiar with Persona?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I mean, it's like, my roommate never really played JRPGs before. I recommended him Persona because I thought it would have elements of the game, like the social aspect, that he would enjoy. If I knew someone was a fan of gameplay, like someone was a fan of Dark Souls or something, not saying that SMT Nocturne is the Dark Souls of JRPGs, but I would recommend it to them. It's accessible, and I think it hits a note with there's something there for everyone to enjoy, whether it's the story, the different religions that are based in the game, the combat. I mean, there's something there for everybody, I feel like. If you don't at least try, I think you need to at least try it once.
100%. I think Nocturne is an experience, and it's like there's so many good things around it. Like, we obviously praise the combat system a lot, so I don't want to spend more time on that necessarily, but man, the music, just the music I think the music is like Shoji Meguro's best work, personally. Like, that's such a fantastic soundtrack. All the tracks are good. Sound test, all the exploration team, the Vortex World.
I literally have Fierce Battle Extended saved on my YouTube so I can listen to that in the mornings to get me pumped up for it.
Ooh, in the morning. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nah, dude,
I'm not a morning person, so anything that can wake me up slightly, and that does. That
Oh, I bet. Nah, dude, it has such a great soundtrack. The atmosphere of the game is good. I always praise Strange Journey for how well it works with its atmosphere. It really puts you in the mood. You really, like, get invested in exploring the Schwarzwalds and all of that. It's just so good in that aspect. But Nocturne also deserves praise there. When you, like, enter the Mantra HQ for the first time, when you see the new Tokyo for the first time, it's all so big in scope and massive that it's like, man, they did a fantastic job with making Nocturne an experience. It's not just a gaming experience, it's an experience as a whole, playing through it.
And I ask you a question, Dave,
Yeah, for sure, man.
if you don't mind. So, you've played every SMT game, basically. Would you say that Nocturne or SMT 4 is a better entry point? Because I hear people saying that SMT 4 is a great entry point as well. But my girlfriend started playing it, and she said that the tutorial section is hard as fuck, and she can't get past it.
I think that's a good question, man. I think the thing with SMT4, I think it explains the mechanics in a better way than Nocturne does. But at the same time, I think Nocturne has the big difficulty spike in Nocturne is Matador. Before that, all of the bosses are very easy, I would say. So the first hard battle is later in the game, so you get more time to learn the mechanics. But at the same time, yeah, Mac says it in the chat, 4 easily, because 4 has like the apps that you can download. You can grind your way through Minotaur and Medusa. Like, I think 4 is easier to break. Like, once you get it, if you have the right armor to go against the Minotaur, he's not hard. He's not even hard. So 4 is easier, I would say, if you're willing to learn the mechanics. Nocturne gives you more time, but really doesn't hold your hand.
No,
And
there's no explanation whatsoever of the
yes,
Nocturne.
and later in the game, it gets really hard in Nocturne. While SMT 4 peaks at like Medusa, all the other bosses are easy. So yeah, I say 4 for sure.
And might I just say, I do see a lot of things in the chat about soundtrack being compressed. I just want to say that is how the soundtrack was on the PS2 version when they had to put everything onto one 4 gigabyte disc for the PS2. It was compressed. They didn't do anything to the audio.
It's the same thing.
Much like the rest of the remaster. It's the same thing. But that didn't. It was a point that I made on my video that bothered me a little bit, but it doesn't make the game unplayable. I see it. I'm a bit of an audiophile myself. I love clear sound. I love vinyl records for a reason because they're the highest quality music can get. But you get used to it. It shouldn't be that big of a. And if you really want to hear it that bad, look up the soundtrack on YouTube. I mean, it's.
Yeah, and it's a fair complaint, to be honest. But at the same time, I think people are like overreacting to it. Like
they are. I mean, I made a point in my video about that. I made a point, but it didn't take away from the experience.
Exactly, and people are hypocrites. They say like, "Oh, I'm not buying Nocturne HD. That compressed soundtrack is terrible. I'll play it on PS3." But on PS3, it's the exact same thing. Like, come on, I mean, I get why people. Again, I pricing is $50 is too much for some people, and I can't blame them. But don't tell me you're skipping just because of the compressed audio. I mean,
that's not fucking true. You just don't want to play the fucking game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, Captain Chaz asked a question here that I kind of want to answer real quick. He says, I came here to ask how to save in Nocturne. You save at terminals. Don't worry.
There's also a suspend feature.
Yes, there's a suspend feature that's brand new in the remaster, actually, where you can suspend your game at any time. You boot up the game again, you click continue, and you're where you left off. That's a cool mechanic. That's way better than the ability to save everywhere, I would say. But you save at terminals, and don't worry, when you're in the hospital at the beginning of the game, it takes a certain time before you find your first terminal. So it's normal. Like, I'd say in the first 2 hours, you can't even save. It's like probably at around the 1 hour and a half and 2 hours mark that you can save for the first time. So not a dumb question. Not a dumb question, dude.
Shout out to Nam, who just joined the stream, by the way. My boy Nam.
Yeah, what's up, Nam? Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate that. He says it's disappointing at the very least, especially since this is a soundtrack that's widely available. Yes, again, can't blame anyone who's bummed by this, because it is a bummer and it's disappointing. But at the same time, when I said that I have an issue with certain people complaining, I'm talking about those people that are saying they're not buying the game just because of that, and it's the end of the world almost because of that. So that's what I think is kind of a stretch, personally. It is to me, I think.
I do find it funny that Atlas West did. They posted a thing about the gameplay of Nocturne.
Oh, that's dumb.
And the audio was very compressed. And the next video that they posted about it, they muted the audio.
Muted it. That's so dumb, dude. That's so dumb, and it's just like Nam said. I mean, the fact that the soundtrack is available uncompressed, like you guys are hearing it right now, it's actually playing. That's dumb. That it's available. I can download it on a YouTube converter in seconds, and it's not even in my game. So I get it. I get it.
They couldn't have gone on Amazon and bought a copy of their own CD and put it in the game.
Yeah, they could.
I mean, it's there. You can literally go on Amazon, buy a copy of the CD for $40.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, dude. It's weird. It really is. And there's other things that they could have touched, and it's like, for me, the biggest thing, I really think the DLCs should have been included. All of them should have been included at $50. Even Dante, like, I know Atlas had to pay. I had to pay rights to get Dante into Capcom, probably to license him once again in the game. It's cool, good idea to put him in, but they should have paid for it and put it in the darn thing because it's $50.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree, and I think we've discussed that on a prior podcast with Kiro before. I mean, I'm not saying $50 isn't fair, and I'm sure we'll get into that later. But
we can talk about the pricing right now if you want to, man. No problem.
Oh, go ahead, man. Did you have a question about that at all?
No. I just want to say we can talk about the pricing right now if you want to.
Okay,
cool.
No problem. I think the game should have been $40, and if you live in and if you live in the U.S., get fucked Canadians. Then
Facts. It's $64.99 here for that game.
You can go to Walmart on release day and get it for like $42 here.
Yeah. That's dope. We don't have it here. Hey, by the way, I checked one local Walmart tonight. Was hoping to caught them slipping once again with the copy on the shelf, but it was not, unfortunately. I went to the Walmart where I got my Strikers copy like 3 days in advance, and it was nowhere to be found, unfortunately.
So the Walmarts in Canada don't do the price cut?
Not the price cut. They don't. Yeah, Walmart in Canada has pretty bad pricing for games. Like, all the games are almost always full price. Their deals on games are really bad. Deals on games, you're better off like looking at Amazon. Canada is pretty good, and Best Buy as well. GameStop's equivalent is EB Games here. Pretty average too. Walmart for game, they're very bad. I don't even know if they're gonna have copies of Nocturne. They're really like picky on which game they put on the shelf, and a game like 13 Sentinels was not on shelves at Walmart. It was not. Persona gets on shelves, but there's not a lot of Japanese games on shelves. Like Dragon Quest XI's on Switch was nowhere to be found at Walmart when it came out. Yeah, and that's a big game. Like in Canada, they're at least in where I am, very average. Walmart with gaming, it's not that great, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, again, can't blame anyone who thinks the game's too pricey and they want to skip it because of that. It's completely fine.
To me, as a newcomer, it's worth the $50 admission. Because it's a new experience.
Yeah.
But I can get where people like you or Spencer or anyone else who has played the game, it's like $50 is a little too much of a... I'm not saying the remaster shit, but subpar remaster. Remaster loose. I'm using that term loosely. So, I mean, $50 is a bit steep, but I look at it as supporting my favorite game company. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I feel more comfortable paying $50 for Nocturne because I paid the same price for Catherine full body on Switch. That's even worse because that game is like a shorter experience, and even if it's more recent, they didn't put like big new things like, for example, voice acting in Nocturne. So for me, Nocturne is more worth $50 than Catherine Full Body on Switch is, because the game was at the time that I bought Catherine on Switch, which is at launch, it was like $20 on PlayStation. So
the only thing that Catherine Full Body on Switch did was include all the DLC. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That was also 50, and that's why I really thought Nocturne would be 50, and I was right about that one. Most people thought it would be 60. I polled that actually and got like 800 votes, and most people said 60. So hey, for those people, it's 50. You don't complain.
Go buy the game now.
Yeah, go buy the game now.
No, please don't buy the digital deluxe version. I implore you.
Let's talk about that real quick. I'm not a fan. As a physical collector, it kind of hurts me. I wish there was like, okay, if you want to do this early access thing and charge a bit more for that, it's like, I'm still not a fan, but if you at least you give physical fans a possibility, an option, that's cool. But now there's no option. So obviously publishers, they make more money when you buy the game digitally because they don't have to manufacture the copies, the cartridge, and ship it. So it's cheaper for them.
Listen, I would have been okay if they would have went the... You remember that art book that came with 13 Sentinels, the launch edition, right? I would have been okay if they would have brought out Nocturne. You could buy the game 4 days early physically, and it comes with a shitty art book right here. And there's your deluxe edition for physical owners. And maybe the DLC, of course. But that's all you got to tell me, and I'd be okay with it. I think it'd be a different story if there was an option for physical collectors. Now, I don't want anyone thinking that or anyone, if Atlas happens to be listening, to say, don't buy the digital deluxe version. If you want to do it, that's fine. I just don't support that practice.
If you think it's worth it and you're fine with that, it's all good. But the problem that I have, the biggest problem over the fact that there's no physical option, is the fact that most people want to play the game as early as possible, especially longtime fans like us, well, like me. And it's like, they don't give you an option. If you want to play it as early as possible, you got to buy all the DLCs because you're paying more for the deluxe edition because you get the DLCs. So for someone like me, like I'm thinking along the lines that, let's say SMT 5 gets a deluxe edition. That's going to hurt me because I will want to get the physical version, and I might not want all the DLCs, especially if they're cosmetics and stuff like that. I don't care for those. Or grinding DLCs like what you have in Nocturne. DLCs that allows you to get the XP faster, gain your Mars, gain items, all of that. I don't care for those. I don't want that. So I'll have to pay because I want to play SMT 5 as soon as possible. So I think that's kind of shady, personally. Nothing against those who paid for it.
Don't fuck your physical collectors like us. We're fucking nerds. We have fucking all the SMT 3DS copies and all that shit. Like, we're fucking nerds when it comes to this. But don't shit out your... I'm not saying we're the biggest consumers, but the people that would buy your product immediately just to please people that maybe it's like, oh, I'm getting a deal here. I'm getting the game early and some DLC. Let's try it out. I mean, give us that option.
Yeah.
That would be... Madden does it every year. EA does that every year with Madden. 2K does that with 2K. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no reason why Atlas can't implement that. And I fear for the release of SMT 5 when they do that. Because I'm telling you this, if I don't get a review code for that and people are playing it 4 days before me because they get the digital deluxe, I'm going to be pissed.
I will be too, man. I've been waiting for this game since the initial announcement, and
I do not want to double dip. I do not want to spend $120 on a game if I don't have to.
You know what? If they do this with SMT 5, I'm gonna be buying the deluxe edition going backwards. I'll be mad, but I'll pay for it. They don't give me an option. It's my most anticipated game of all time, and even if I don't want to support that practice, I can't wait. And they know that I can't wait.
You, David.
I know.
And that's where they get you.
I know. And that's why I think it's shady. That's why I think it's shady. For Nocturne, if I didn't get a review copy, I would have waited. I'm good. I can wait. I can wait for Nocturne, even as a content creator. But for my most anticipated game of all time that I've been waiting for over 4 years now, dude, it's impossible. You can't ask me to wait.
Now, this super chat right here has a really good point with what they commented. So, David, I'll let you take it away for the super chat.
Yes, sir. Fellow Canadian maple syrup gang, here we go. Tunde Ambimbola, welcome. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, I got the deluxe edition for the same price as the game through Fanatical on PC. I think Green Man Gaming had a similar deal. Cool. That's cool. I think that's...
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great. But, I mean, he makes a good point there. They saw a deal. Steam deals are run regularly, but I don't play on PC. Mm-hmm. You're still only getting the game digitally. That's great for you. Proud of you. That's awesome. But I just think they need to make that physical deluxe edition. Like what they did, like... Okay, let's say Persona 5 Royal. You remember that came out at the beginning of COVID. I was itching to play that game because everything was shutting down, and I had nothing to do. Mm-hmm. The Phantom Thieves edition of the game, $90.
The one I got.
That's what you got?
Yeah, that's what I got. I always get the collector's edition when they're available for my favorite series.
Exactly. So if they would have put out a digital deluxe edition 4 days early of that, but if you got the Phantom Thieves edition, you get it early too. Get to play 4 days early.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
1,000% okay.
That's a collector's edition. That's a little perk that you give for your collectors out there, your biggest fans. That works. I'm not complaining.
But they know, Atlas knows that they're going to get their biggest fans 4 days early. They're going to get you, David.
Yeah, I know. And I know I'm the problem. But at the same time, can you blame me, dude? I've been waiting for SMT 5, and I dream about SMT5, and I watch the fucking trailer every week. Every week.
Yep, we got a simp.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I swear, man, it's a shady practice. Again, if you were to buy, if your plan was to buy all the DLCs, it's cool. It's cool. But if not, you realize that you're buying all their DLC that's useless, that you don't really want because you want to play it early. And that's the little issue. But that's too much time on the deluxe edition already, so...
Listen, Emmanuel, if I may take a second to rant. Emmanuel, you're saying you're making me feel guilty for buying the digital... Don't feel guilty. We're not trying to make you feel guilty. We just don't support that. Because we're nerds and we love our physical versions of games.
Yeah.
So it's like, remember when you thought the PS3 and Vita stores were shutting down and you weren't going to be able to get these games digitally anymore? That's what I'm worried about in the future for gaming. What if I fucking play SMT5 and I think it's the best game ever, but I bought it digitally and one day I can't download it? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and It's a Mouse here in the chat brings up an interesting point. He says, the only DLCs I'll buy is the Maniacs upgrade and BGM. Dude, did you try out the... I know you're not, like... You didn't play the older games, so it's probably not as cool to you, but the music packs, for me, like, just hearing the Ginza team from SMT1 playing in the Vortex world, that's so cool. Or Tokyo from SMT4 playing in the Vortex world. That's really cool. But again, I feel like this is a small little thing that they could have added in the base game.
I think they should have added mass destruction to SMT.
Alright, let's move on.
That would get you really happy.
Dude, I'd refuse that review copy. I'm like, I'm good. If I have to get that pack, I'm good.
Oh, let's not forget that I made a diss track against you, and you have yet to respond to this day.
Dude, I can't. I told you. You have them balls. I don't.
You heard it, folks. I won the war.
We'll see at E3, dude. We'll see.
I think we need to have one final confrontation before then. Maybe we'll tell people more about that later.
Should we announce something? Should we? Or is it too soon?
It's your stream. It's your stream.
All right. Guys. World premiere. You'll hear it here first. All right. Episode 20 of the Demon Appreciation Podcast is going to be the day before E3. All right, the day before E3. Mark your calendars. KingNarukami and I are going to be on a podcast live, and the podcast is going to be the final debate, the final war. The Avenger posters that Demicro made, you all remember it? It's going down. This is going to be the 20th episode of the Demon Appreciation Podcast. We're gonna argue. You guys like it when we argue like a bunch of dickheads. Well, we're gonna do that for a whole podcast. So I hope you guys are ready.
And I'm sure we'll talk about our, like impressions of SMT5, what we want most from it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At the same time, if you don't think I'm going to call you a stupid fuckface for not thinking that SMT5 is coming in 2022, you're fucking delusional.
So it's going to be a very interesting podcast. Lots of insults, lots of cool stuff here. So yeah, the final battle. Onam, we mentioned that in the chat. I think that's going to be the name of the podcast. The final battle. Because it's going down. I mean, SMT5 will be at E3 2021. It will be.
This is like going to be like the final presidential debate. This is like Super Tuesday for the U.S. and everything. We're fighting over who has the supremacy and who's going to get the most votes.
Oh man, it's going to be so cool.
Because either way, SMT5 does or doesn't get an official release at E3. I think we can both agree that if it doesn't, it's coming out in 2022. Yes,
and I was very, very confident in the concert, the Reason of Music concert in March. Everything was pointing towards the fact that SMT5 would be shown at this concert. It wasn't. So now it's clear it's E3. This is where we'll see where it releases. I think it still has a good shot of releasing in 2021 because of the latest fiscal report. a month ago, they confirmed to their investors, and they can't lie to their investors, that SMT 5 is still planned for fiscal year 2022. So a month ago, SMT 5 was still planned for release between March 31st, 2021 and March 31st, 2022, which means that it was still confirmed to be either a 2021 game or Q1 2022 game. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not the first time that they... It wouldn't be the first time that they announce a game or they fully show a game soon before release. Team Maniacs is not necessarily known for delaying their games either. They're not like P Studio. Far from it. So I'm still confident.
It's still possible that they'll announce it and then it gets like a September release date.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Strikers. It was announced 2 months prior to its release.
Yes.
I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm just saying that I think we'll see SMT 5 at E3 in one way or another. But whether that release date is shown, I think that's going to be the final deciding part.
Yeah. And again, if we don't have a date at E3, it's 2022. If we only have like 2021 at E3, that would really surprise me. But no date and 2021, I'll be worried. I'll be worried because we're mid-June. We're going to be in mid-June. So yes, it's crazy stuff. It really is. Julien in the chat brings up an interesting point here. He says, does Atlas have a history of making announcements at E3? That's the thing. E3 2013 is where they fully showed SMT4 for the first time. This is where we saw gameplay and the characters, and we got a good look at the story too. That was a 3-minute trailer, fully showcased all of that, and we got the release date for the West at E3 2013, and this is exactly what I'm expecting this year. I'm expecting a 3-minute trailer. We'll see gameplay, we'll see characters, we'll see a bit of the story in 3 minutes, and we'll have that November release date or October release date.
I think we'll see. Nintendo won't be at E3. I'm not sure how they're running it. I know it's an all digital thing. They'll have their own direct probably, and that's what we'll see.
Yes, it's a direct at E3. That's what they do. Exactly like what they did in 2019. For Nintendo, it's going to be the same thing, except they won't have the physical booth that they used to have.
Now, what's that other stupid fucking show that's going to take place right before E3, the Summer Game Show or whatever?
Summer Game Fest, yeah.
I heard people say, Sega's there, is SMT 5 good?
No.
Stop.
No, it's SMT5 won't be at Summer Games Fest. Summer Games Fest last year was ass, and I'm being generous. It really was bad. No disrespect to Jeff Keighley. He's done a ton of good things for the industry, and I love his Game Awards show and all of that, even if it's kind of a mess. So it's cool, but at the same time, it's I expect like 2 Points Hospital DLC and freaking Total War stuff at this event, or the biggest thing
on the new Hatsune Miku mobile game.
Possibly, but the biggest thing that I want to see that I think has a good shot of being at this show is Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment, I think, can be at this show.
But even then, I'm like, that might not. I mean, they
maybe
put
not.
On their own event for that. They put on their own 30, 40-minute event, a digital event for that.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, well, who knows what the fuck to expect from that. But I think you should go in expecting what you expected for Tokyo Game Show.
Tokyo Game Show, I expected a lot of things.
I did not, because all that was happening in the world. So.
Yeah, obviously the pandemic is a big thing, and it's still a real thing right now.
I'm not saying compare it to Tokyo Game Show. I'm saying set your expectations the way I set my expectation for Tokyo Game Show for Sega.
Yeah.
Way down.
Oh man, I mean, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen at those events. I kind of want to see at the whole thing, the whole June month. That includes like Summer Game Fest. That includes PC Gamer Show. That includes E3. That includes if there's a state of play. In all of those things, all I need is anything SMT5. And you know what? If SMT5 gets shown, if we see gameplay and there's a 2022 date, I won't even be mad. I won't even be mad, dude. I swear. I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be very happy. I just want to see the game. And I've waited more than 4 years now. I can wait more if needs be. I can wait more.
Someone said, I want to hear Reggie reveal SMT 5. I would bust the biggest nut.
Potatoes, yes, sir. Yeah, but you know what's going to happen? Peppa Pig's going to reveal SMT 5, not Reggie.
That's the best meme that came out in the past 2 days.
Dude, hey, that comes from Tokyo Game Show, by the way. Tokyo Game Show 2020, I streamed Sega's event with Katana Riku. We woke up at 4 a.m. for this show. We streamed from 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. for nothing. And people in the chat were like, the best thing about Sega's show was the random Peppa Pig plush in the background. Because there was a big background with tons of Sega stuff, and there was Peppa Pig in the middle. And everyone was like, hell yeah, Peppa Pig was the best thing in that show. And during that show, because I know Potatoes in the chat was there, but all of you others that are there, I don't know if you were there during Tokyo Game Show streams, but this stream, the biggest moment, the moment that make us all freak out is when they showed that July 20th trailer again. They just put the same trailer in their show. The same trailer that we got at the partner showcase. I remember Kudo joined us at some point during the stream. Kudo and I were talking. We were like, oh, this is so trash, blah, blah, blah. And then the trailer starts, SMT5 logo. Riku starts, he's like, smack on the desk. He's like, guys, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's SMT5. And then we watch the trailer. Same thing, dude. Same trailer. We couldn't believe it. We couldn't. I swear.
You can go on YouTube and do the same thing. They just went on YouTube and played the trailer.
We were like, no! And right until the trailer ended, we were like, oh, we're gonna get something new, at least something new. Dude, they moved on. The trailer was done, they moved on. We were like, oh my god, that's tough. That was a hard moment. It really was.
You hate to see it.
Yes, you really do. Well, let's jump back into Nocturne here for a bit. I want to hear, now that you beat Nocturne, do you have interest in beating more mainline games? Mainline SMT?
Okay. Oh, definitely. I've already bought all the 3DS games, basically. Physically and digitally.
Nice.
So, the next game I really want to get into is Digital Devil Saga.
Nice.
That is the next game, because I know it runs on the same engine as Nocturne. It has the press turn battle system, and it's story-driven, which is a big plus to me. So, that's the next game. I know that's not mainline, technically, but it is SMT. But I do want to get into SMT 4 again. Like, I really want to play that soon. And the 3DS, my 2DS being portable will help a lot with playing that as well.
Yeah.
Like Nocturne on Switch did. And I'll be ready for SMT 5, man. I mean, I'm excited after playing Nocturne. I am so excited to get more into the series. And that includes Devil Summoner. That includes Digital Devil Saga. That includes Devil Survivor Overclocked, which I got physical, by the way. That's really expensive.
That's a really good game.
So,
dude,
apparently that's Gnarly's like #1 SMT game. So
it is actually, and it's up there for me too. So very good game here. I think Digital Devil Saga should be your next one, dude, because it's similar enough to Nocturne, but it's also different enough that you'll find it super refreshing while still feeling at home. So I think you'll really enjoy it, man. I want to see you play it, and I still need to play Digital Devil Saga 2. That's on my pile of shame.
I really hope if we get, with the success that this remaster has gotten, of course we don't know the sale numbers for the West yet. It hasn't really officially released yet. But it has strong sales numbers in Japan. I really hope we get Digital Devil Saga AC remaster, but they also fix the frame rate issues as well. So I really hope that.
It will get it. We will. It exceeded their sales expectations in Japan, and it's doing well right now in the West too. I checked out the Amazon sales charts, and Amazon, especially right now during the worldwide pandemic, is a very good place to follow sales for physical sales. It's up there. It was like in the top 20 at some point for Switch games. So I expect good numbers for the West too, for sure. So I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see what's gonna happen next. But dude, I think Digital Devil Saga is gonna happen at some point for sure. It's next in line. It really is. There's a lot of reason to believe it's gonna be next in line. I want to play Digital Devil Saga 2 soon, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, if there's a remaster, I really want to play that on Switch. So I don't know, man, but
I also want to hold out. With the PS3 store closing, I bought every SMT port that I could from the PS3 store.
Good
Digital
move.
Devil Saga, Nocturne, all the Devil Summoners, because if you look at Devil Summoner, it's like $150 per game. Physically.
I know, man. I'm still missing the first game. I have 2 copies of Rido 2, but I don't have a copy of the first one.
One came with Ride Ho, right?
Yes, one came with Riho, and this one is sealed too. So yeah.
I wouldn't open up that shit.
Dude, I opened Persona 3 Portable on PSP in 2019. And that shit's worth over $300.
Persona 3, though, that doesn't mean shit.
It's worth a ton. It's worth more. Persona 3 Portable is worth more than Rido 2 right now.
As far as your value of Persona 3 would be in this trash can. Right?
Yeah. Belongs in the trash room. Danganronpa.
God damn it.
You saw my my Persona 3 reference in my Nocturne review. Oh man.
Fuck you, David. See, you know, I reminisced yesterday. Yesterday was my 6 months at the content creator, and this motherfucker David right here, even in my first video, shit on Persona 3 during my first video.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I did.
Because you said something about the music and the cringy rap music in Persona 3.
I'm so proud, dude. I'm really proud right now. Wow. Okay, nice. So I was a real one, and I've been a real one since day one. Your first video ever, I shit on P3. Man, that makes me proud.
Fuck you, dude. P3's a good game.
Oh, dude. Hey, Max says in the chat here, fuck you, David. It's not fair you got the second one free. Yes, I got that Riho special edition with Rido 2 sealed for free. For those of you who don't know the story, I paid a very good price. I'm not ashamed to say it. I paid $250 Canadian for the Riho special edition with the Riho plushie, the big box, and a sealed copy of Rido 2. My mailing office dropped the package at my neighbor's house. My neighbor didn't go to mail before 10 days. Called the mail office, let them know that they lost my package. They did their investigation, refunded me, and then my neighbor said, "Hey, look at what I got." And there was Riho. There he was. So man, I was really happy. I really was. That's such a cool moment for me. It's like now it's the most expensive piece in my collection, and I got it for free. So yeah, that's super dope.
Did get Persona 4 the golden animation on Blu-ray the other day for $100, so I'm pretty.
That's also pretty cool. Yeah, I
Even
still need to watch that one.
Series.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you do need to watch it, but you need to watch it to see how shit it is. Because I know you like P4 the animation.
Yeah, it was good. It really
But
was.
anyways, I think we should get back into Nocturne, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. Just before we do that, Emmanuel in the chat asks us a question. By the way, what's up with Lost Judgment? Judgment Remaster just released in it. What's that game about? Lost Judgment is the sequel to Judgment. Judgment is right next to DDS2 on my pile of shame, backlog of shame, should I say. I don't know why I'm replaying all the Yakuza games right now, and I still haven't played Judgment. I really need to play it. Now I bought the PS5 version. I'm gonna play it before Lost Judgment comes out. Hype as hell for Lost Judgment, by the way.
By the way, I find it weird because Judgment in Japan was called Judge Eyes. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
It was called Judge Eyes. It was called Judgment here in the West. But for the second game, they're not calling it like Lost Judge Eyes. They're calling it just Lost Judgment. I find that interesting.
Yeah, interesting. I'm just glad we get that word. Sorry about that. I'm just glad we get that worldwide release. That's really cool. Just like for SMT 5 later in 2021. So, all right, let's move on. Next question. Hey, let's get into the questions
Fuck
that
yourself with a rhino dick.
let's answer those questions that we got from Twitter and Discord. First question is from Mac, actually. That's still in the chat here. And Mac asked us, or should I say, asked you, what Megaten games have you played before? Let's include all, Persona included.
First off, I love you, Mac, and I can't wait for our baby. That's gonna be dope. Second off, that's a Discord joke, by the way, for anyone who's really confused. Second off, what Megaten games have I played? The Persona series, except for 1 and 2, because I tried 1, couldn't really get
Play 2. Play 2, man. F1.
I know. I'm gonna get it. I have it on my PlayStation TV. Don't worry.
Fantastic games. Dude, my ranking is... people are going to cry in the chat because they always do. 5... Eternal Punishment, Innocent Sin, 4, fucking 3, and then 1. That's my ranking.
You actually gave 3 some credit right there. I'm shocked.
Yeah. But
let's not forget which Persona 1 port has the best soundtrack.
Persona 1 PSP has like the best soundtrack in all of Persona, probably. Right next to 5, I would say. It's that good. Oh my god. It's that good.
You said PSP, not the original.
No, I said PS1.
Oh, I thought you said PSP for a second.
I hope I didn't say PSP.
I thought you said PSP. We're gonna have to look at the replay for that. I can't wait to record that.
Oh, god damn it. So, yeah, you played all the Persona games.
Megaten, if you kept Catherine, I don't know. People are kind of about if that's included as a Megaten game. But that's it. That's literally it.
And now Nocturne.
Max says, man, you weird, bro. No cap. Love you, babe.
Dude. What else do we have for questions? We got a couple, actually. We got a question here from...
Someone said you said PSP. Oh, shit. I can't wait to clip that.
Oh, god damn it. God damn it. Next question is a very good one that I know you like. Vish God in the Discord server asked us, does Nocturne get you hyped for SMT 5, which is definitely coming out in 2021?
Oh my god. I'm going to ignore the second part of that question. And to answer your question, yes, if it's not apparent by now, I am very hyped to play more SMT games. Right now, my schedule is saying that I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Intergrade next, then Lost Judgment, and then I'm getting all in those SMT games because my schedule is going to change here in a couple of months.
Yes,
I'll be moving, and I'll have like an extra almost 2 hours during the day to do whatever the fuck I want. So that's more awesome. Games, more SMT. Let's go.
That's awesome. CRTNN, I see you in the chat, dude. I appreciate your support, but that triggers me. He says, P5 only has the best soundtrack if you download the P3 DLC. Okay, that's a good one. You get a point, but dude, come on. Come on. Oh, man. That hurts.
That's the best comment we've had all stream.
It really is. It really is. Oh, come on. Oh, man. All right, let's keep going. What else do we have here? Next question is from a little someone that I think you might have heard of before, Kyla from Twitter. And she asked us, do you think the game is worth $50 to a newcomer, or should they stick with the PS2, PS3 version of the game? Talking about Nocturne here, obviously.
Right. So for a newcomer, unless you're like extremely strapped for cash, like you have no choice of not buying a fucking $50 game, or $42 at Walmart. Go with the HD version. It looks better. It looks more modern. I'm not saying it looks like a game made in 2021.
No. The voice acting is very good. It's very good.
So that's one thing we failed to mention as well. In the original Nocturne, there was no voice acting. They added that for this new version of the game, which accentuates scenes and the story as well. So, say, go for this new version of the game. But if you want to wait for a sale, I completely understand. $50 is a lot to ask for, especially for a game from 2003. But to me, as a newcomer, I feel like $50 is, as someone who can afford it, it's worth the price.
Yeah, definitely. I see Nocturne as a game. I love how she added newcomer. Is it worth it for a newcomer? For a newcomer, 1000%. 1000%. If you recently played Nocturne on like the PlayStation 3, or you recently emulated Nocturne, except if you really like adored your experience, if you adored your experience, worth it. If you liked it or you think it was okay, no, it's not worth it. It's not. But I think
we're not saying not to buy the game.
No,
it's a great.
It really is.
Like even though I got my free review copy, I'm still buying 2 copies of the fucking game.
Same.
I mean, so it's a. I mean, that doesn't make a hill of beans to me, but I say if you're on the fence about it, wait for a sale. Don't go for the PS3 version because this is the best way to, even with all the performance hiccups, it's the best way to experience the game.
And I want to get your take as well on the performance, okay? First up, I'm going to get this out of the way. Everything that I'm about to say in the next few minutes, I want to say I'm not trying to defend the game. If to you those frame drops are a deal breaker, I'm not going to blame you because I agree there's no reason for those frame drops on PlayStation 4, PC, or Switch. It's a PS2 game. There's no reason for them. But now what I want to say here is I really don't think those frame drops are that bad. They're not that problematic. You've all seen the Matador cutscene. That's the worst drop that we get in the whole game. And most of the time, in all your time exploring, no frame drops. In all the cutscenes, no frame drops. The only frame drops...
Well, exploring minus the Amala Network section of the game.
Even that, it drops, but it's very minor. It's very minor. Well, it is to me, at least. I should say that. It is to me. I really don't think it's that bad. Like, I've been reading a ton of reviews. I made a full 15 minutes video reading reviews. And after that video, obviously that video is fully edited. I read way more reviews. I just added the more interesting ones. And I swear, there's a lot of people that are like almost dissing the game because of those little frame drops. And if you're playing on PC or PS4, it's even better because the docked Switch version is where it drops the most. Handheld on Switch, the resolution is lower. It runs way better. I would say it runs just like the PS4 and PC versions.
Right. Now, did you try Matador handheld? Because I didn't.
I didn't either, unfortunately.
I want to see that. I just want to address a few things that I saw in the chat right quick.
Yeah, sure, man. David. For sure. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Someone says that is the PC port good? Go to my boy Bowser Carriga. He did a review of the PC port of the game.
Shout out to Bowser.
I haven't seen a ton of reviews on the PC port, and he did that. Bowser Carriga, I duel with him a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh! We always have a fun time. He's a good buddy of mine.
He really is.
He got a review copy as well. So watch his.
Yep.
But as far as I know, he didn't experience any crashes that other people are saying that they did. So go watch his review. Someone says it shouldn't have any frame drops at all.
That's true, man.
I mean, it's true. I can understand it dropping a frame here and there, like 29 to 28 every now and then.
Even that, it's poorly optimized. It is.
Right.
We have some games. We have some PS4 games running on Switch, and they're fully stable. A game like Doom 2016 runs on Switch, and it's more stable than freaking Nocturne, a PS2 RPG. It's all on optimization. Witcher 3, dude. Sorry to interrupt you, but Witcher 3 on Switch is such a good port. Catherine Full Body, goddammit. Catherine Full Body port on Switch, you almost cannot tell the difference between the PS4 version and the Switch version. Nocturne is fully optimized. I'm sorry.
There is no excuse.
There isn't.
Especially during that Matador. You saw it. It's in my review. Matador's appearance, it's just embarrassing at best.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's not a game-breaking thing, but it's something that's like, what the fuck is happening right now? It's like, why is it running like this? When I use Xandine in a regular battle, there's frame drops during the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it runs almost flawlessly except for the Amala Network section, which it does, sir, but you don't spend too much time in there. But it runs flawlessly when you're exploring and doing all this stuff. But in combat, if you use a skill that requires a lot of, stuff on the screen, which is shouldn't because it's a fucking PS2 game, it struggles.
It is.
And from what I've seen, that's not the case on PS4 and PS5.
Yeah. I also want to answer...
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I just want to answer two little things that I can see here in the chat that I want to talk about real quick. Ryan, two things. You said there shouldn't be any frame drops. 100% agree, man. That's ridiculous for this type of port. And he also says here, I only play my Switch in portable. I better not get bad drops. You won't. It's way better portable.
Much better.
What I say is the portable version of the Switch version is the PS4 version. At lower resolution, obviously. That's the only difference. And I also want to bring up what CRTNN brings up here. On PS5, yes, it has faster loading times, but the frame drops are the same as the PS4 version. There's no difference in the FPS, so that's right. The PS5 version of the game, if I can say it that way, when you're running backwards compatible PS4 version, it has frame drops. On the same system that I can play God of War 4K 60 frames per second and it being perfectly stable, I cannot run my PS2 RPG.
There is no excuse.
Yeah, there isn't. Yeah.
Someone didn't try, and that's not Atlas West's fault. It's just their job to,
It's not.
translate the game and bring it over here. It's not their job to do that. It should have been fixed from the get-go.
Yeah, that's the development.
Atlas West.
No, we're not. It's the base game. I played a couple of hours of the Japanese version. I even played it on stream, and it's the exact game. It's the exact game. It's a mouse. It's running in Unity, but it's poorly optimized in Unity. That's the thing.
There are plenty of games that run on Unity that run perfectly fine. Yeah,
for sure. There's games on. Go ahead, man.
The Switch version of the game. Yes, the PS4 is the superior machine. Yes, PS5 is way ahead of PS4. But this is a game from 2003. Mm-hmm. There is absolutely no excuse. I don't care if you say, "Oh, the Switch has a mobile chipset." I mean, that does.
Witcher 3 is stable, dude.
On my fucking phone.
Exactly.
There's no excuse.
No, there isn't. It's dumb. There's no reason for it to drop.
But. Guys, I just want to say, people said that Zandine, if you use it on handheld, I didn't really experience that many frame drops in my handheld experience with the game. Like, someone said that they use Zandine and it still dropped. It's not as bad on handheld. It runs a lot better. That resolution drop makes a huge difference.
Yes, it really does.
And maybe a Switch Pro, if we get that in the future, can help this game. I'm not sure.
It won't because that's what I always say. When you play your Switch in handheld, when it comes to the frames, from what I can see and tell, not counting frames, it looks just like the PS4 version. It's when you play it Switch docked that this is when you get a bit more drops. The frame drops are at the same place whether you're playing on Switch docked or on PS5 or on PC. Yes, there might still be frame drops, CRTNN, whenever you play handheld, but they're less significant. That's what we want to say here. Why is it locked on 30 frames per second? Is there any reason? We don't really know, but at the same time, it's a very slow RPG. It doesn't really need to be 60, so that's not necessarily...
Okay, it's a bit ridiculous that it's locked to 30 on Steam.
Yeah, it is pretty weird. I have to give him that. But at the same time, to me, that's not too bad. The real issue here is that it's not stable at 30. 30 doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that it's not stable. That's my problem. But once again, guys, we seem to be shitting on the game, but both of us had a blast with it. And once I'm done with this stream, I'm going to lay down in bed and, dude, I'm going to play.
Same.
So, it's just that we're paying our hard-earned money, and it's still broken. So.
There was a certain game that released 3 months ago called Persona 5 Strikers that released on the Switch. That also has some performance issues, but performed pretty well. That's a lot more demanding than a PS2 game that is, quote-unquote, remastered from 2003.
100%. Strikers is a game that's demanding, and that game would have benefited from a 60 frames. Obviously, it's not possible on Switch. But that's a game that you want to play at 60. To me, that's more important than just regular P5 because of the type of game that it is, because it's slower and all of that. So,
someone asked if the OG Nocturne on PS2 was running at 20 frames per second. How did it run on PS2, Dave? You know more about it than I do.
The PS2 games are a stable 30.
So
All
you
the
didn't have
games.
any significant frame drops or anything.
No, the PS2 version are very stable. They're very stable. Loading times are the same. Loading times are great, dude. In Nocturne HD, Nocturne, and I played the Switch version. The loading times are great, even on Switch. You end the battle, you spam click X, and you're out of battle right there. It's very quick.
The biggest loading time is loading up the main screen, which I assume loads up almost the entire game as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's it.
It's very quick and all of that. Like Strikers, once again, way more demanding game. I know it's not a fair comparison. Strikers loading times on Switch, they're there. You can see them and you wait through them. In Nocturne, it's really fast. Loading times are way faster than in the original. Well, not way faster, but kind of faster. And see, Ryan, that's an interesting point. He says, yeah, but Strikers on PS4 wasn't dealing with 30 frames on Switch. Reading that, yeah, I can see it. I still played it on Switch because to me that portability is worth that much. But I can 100% understand why a game like Strikers really want it to be 60. But I saw some people crying that Royal is 30 frames. But it's like, man, you really needed it at 60?
I mean, it would be nice for 60.
Yeah, but it's not the end of the world.
But
Strikers at 30 on PS4 would have been a real bummer to many people.
So I bust my nut whenever I see something at 60 frames per second. I mean, even OJ, Player Essence, has told me before, it's a JRPG, it's a turn-based JRPG, you don't need 60 frames. But at the same time, to me, it's pleasing to my eyes to see it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the full... There's no reason why there's not a 60 FPS patch for Persona 5 Royal on PS5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could easily run. If The Last of Us 2, they just released a 60 frames
God
per
of
second
War.
patch. Yeah. 4K 60 FPS.
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. I mean...
Devil May Cry 5 runs at 120 frames
120. Yeah.
on PS5. I tried that. That's very impressive.
There's no excuse. I mean, you could say, it's just Atlas not wanting to do it. But I love 60 FPS. Even in my turn-based JRPGs, I'm okay with it. Would I have liked Nocturne to be 60? Of course, but I'm not gonna, shit on it. I mean, I play fucking NBA 2K21 on my Switch at 30 frames per second with drops all the time, so.
See?
It's cool. It's cool. It's not needed, but it's preferred.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. We have other questions. We have two other questions here that I want us to answer. The next one is from GamerDude7520. He's in your server. You sent me his question. Thanks for the question, bro. The question goes here. He says, how much gigs does SMT 3 HD takes, and how is the performance on Switch and PS4? We really went in depth with the performance already on both versions, but to answer the questions about the space, the deluxe edition of the games, all DLCs installed is 9 gigabytes, and the base game is 8.5.
And that's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's a big game.
Now, when the original ran on a 4.7 gigabyte disc on the PS2, I mean, obviously the textures have been blown up and stuff.
Yeah, the voice acting.
Yeah, I mean I don't think people realize how much. Like you could say that the soundtrack audio is compressed, but it takes a lot of room for audio soundtrack. Even for, you don't have a ton of voice acting in this version of the game.
No, you don't.
But it's there, and that takes up space. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the voice acting quality, like both the sound quality and the voice acting quality, are very good. So it's not like that compressed audio you heard. So I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean, it's 9 gigs ain't that much on Switch. Now I heard on PS4 it's like 12. I mean, what's the difference? I mean,
I don't really know why it's 12. That's kind of weird to me. Oh, there's probably data on the card. No. That's the what I just said is the 10 gigs on PC too. Wow, that's weird. All the versions have a different storage capacity. Weird. Yeah. Interesting question. Thanks for the question here. Last question is from good friend of the channel, VC, which I think, VC, you're still in the chat. Yeah, you are. Thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate you. And he asked us, is Nocturne HD able to be enjoyable with repeat playthroughs? And what was your favorite voice actor for which character from the game? I'll go first with the voice actor. I would say probably Chris Agnew. He did all the Fiends in the Amala network. That's really cool, and I love how he changed his voice for most of them. That was really cool. And he also did the Collector Mannequin. I don't know if you remember his voice. You see the Collector Mannequin a couple of times.
Hello. He's just like a weird kind
Yeah, he's really cool. I like his I really liked his roles there, and he did a couple of demons too. So yeah, good job to him for real. That was a good imitation, dude. Hello. He's
Hello.
cool. Yeah, that's exactly that way. Hello.
A present for you.
Yeah. Wow, dude, you're great. Nah, I love his roles there. Any favorite?
That's the thing. I earned $500,000 from Atlas just doing that line.
Yeah.
I actually voiced that.
Do you have a preference? Voice actor?
Oh, yeah.
Voice actress?
1,000%. I don't know much about Raito, but I could say his scenes in the game are my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
The soundtrack and everything, that's probably from the Devil Summoner series, am I right? Am I on target with that?
Yeah, I think so.
It was just so fucking good. And I don't know anything about Raito, but it makes me want to go play Devil Summoner right now.
Dude, Raito's a really cool character, man. I'm glad you picked Raito. That's cool. But yeah, both voice actors.
I didn't even pick it. I didn't know I had a choice. I thought it would just automatically load Dante, which I've never played Devil May Cry. But I could say I'm very pleasantly surprised because Raito, my favorite scene of the game, is his appearance. His second appearance, because first appearance is just like outside in the Vortex world where Godo is like, oh, here's this guy, dude, we want to battle now. His second appearance, when you actually face him, like the way the camera shifts, the music in the background, I get goosebumps just thinking about it right here.
Do you know you're not done with Raito in your playthrough? He's coming back.
I know.
You knew? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's so cool, man. I love it. Raito's cool.
So fucking cool to me. He doesn't even fucking talk, but his character is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
I want to play Devil Summoner right now.
His design, dude. Did you see my figure? My Raito figure that I have?
I have not, no.
You've not? Oh, dude. I know you guys can see it, but 1 second. It's worth pulling out.
Oh, David's going to be pulling out something tonight. Ooh, baby. Ooh.
Let me pull it out real quick.
Did you hear me?
Okay, see? Really quickly, because I know you guys can see, but look how sexy that looks.
Oh my god.
I also have, like, the cape is really cool. I also have the Godo cat with it. It's cool. But, man, no, I'm Team Raito all the way, dude. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't give a shit about Dante. I've never played Devil May Cry.
I've only played the first game. Yeah. They've been on my backlog for a long time. I like the first game, but I mean...
By the way, did you hear me when you went over there?
Yeah, I heard you.
Baby.
He's about to pull a good one. Retrig asked us a question here in the chat. It said, quick question. I just installed Nocturne today, and I'm wanting to play with Raito. Why is there a DMC character in an SMT game? No thanks. Which mode do I select? Maniacs? Maniacs is Dante. So Maniacs is the pack with Dante. So you want to get the regular version. So, oh, here we go. Yeah, Potato Sensor did so. Yeah, so do we have a... No, that was our last question. Oh, no, VC also asked us, is it a game that you can enjoy with repeat playthroughs? I'm going to answer that one. There's various endings depending on which side of reason you side with. Again, this is a no spoilers review, but there's replayability for trying to get the multiple endings plus the true demon ending. And also, if you want to get... I know some people are into collecting the complete compendium. That's also something very cool that you can do. So, yeah, there's replay value there if that's what you're into, for sure, man.
Someone says, can you switch between Raito and Dante only at the beginning of the game?
That's, yeah.
Before you even pick new game.
Yeah, Bilal, that's exactly it. You gotta change with your playthrough. So, I know that's gonna be a bummer for some, but That was all our questions, and all the questions that I had for you too. So I kind of want to ask you guys in the chat before we wrap things up. Do you have any final questions for us when it comes to Nocturne HD? And while we're waiting, again, we just want to shout out my boy KingNarukami here. Thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate you. And don't forget, guys, to check out his review down in the description once we're done with this podcast. Very good review, man.
Thanks a lot, David. It's my first review ever done, and I don't think it could be any bigger.
Yeah,
so,
for real. And it performed well too for your channel. It performed pretty well. You had some very nice comments on there. I read them today.
Yeah, I mean, even VC was in there saying that's my best video ever created. So I appreciate that. If you guys would, you don't have to. I'm not obliging anybody, but if you could check it out, support my channel, that would be cool too. I'm a newbie when it comes to this stuff. You may call me. You may say, "Well, play a real SMT game." Bitch, I have.
Yeah, you have now. So, honestly, and you have big things coming as well. So, dude, yeah, you guys should go subscribe to this channel. Big things are coming. So, all right, we have
big things are coming on the what's the date? The 11th of next month when I'm gonna win this debate.
11th of next month, guys. Demon Appreciation Podcast, episode 20. I hope we'll see you there. We have our questions, dude. Are we ready to jump in?
I'm ready.
Let's go. First question is... Oh boy. Wait a second. Yeah, here we go. Okay. First question was, can you switch between Rido and Dante? We answered that. Then we have... Brick asking us here, how bad is the music? People said it was compressed, but I didn't really see it. It's just like the PS2 game, so they had to compress the music to fit on this small little PS2 disc. It's the same soundtrack.
I said that they had to. Well, they had to on the PS2 disc. They don't have to.
No, now there was the capacity, obviously, for them to make it uncompressed, but they didn't. That's why there's this bummer. But again, this soundtrack is legendary. So even if it's super compressed, it's still good. I would blast Fierce Battle with Game Boy Advance speakers, dude. This
For real, though.
Can you imagine walking on the street with a Game Boy?
Dude, I don't have to imagine it. I already have it on my Switch.
Yeah, dude, let's go. Nah, it's just so good overall. So yeah, great soundtrack.
It's create an 8-bit version of Fierce Battle because I can't hear that.
Probably, I'm sure that exists somewhere. Next question is from Demi Crow. Will it be discounted like P5S because it's now only like $30? Yeah, I saw that today. Full price games here in Canada are $79.99, and I saw P5 Strikers today at Best Buy for $54.99 today. So,
I mean, I don't see it going on discount immediately, but I think it's one of those games that will eventually. Like I said, you can go to Walmart on release day on Tuesday and get it for, $42 probably if your Walmart has it. So, I mean, it's a game that I see going down to $30, within the next 2 months. But I mean, all games do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if you're really worried about the price, go ahead and wait for a sale. Just at least if you're thinking about playing it, please play it.
Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't matter if it's now or 2 months from now when it's $40-$30.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, but it's probably going to get discounted at some point, just like Strikers, Demi Crow. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. Next question is from Heather, which Heather just joined as well. So welcome to the stream, Heather. I appreciate you being here. The question is, what version should I play, David? Maniacs or Chronicles? I'm Team Rido, so I say go Chronicles because Rido is like new content for us in the West. But if you're a big DMC fan, you can obviously go with the Maniacs Pack 2 and get Dante from Devil May Cry. I think both are great, with a preference for Rido, personally. What about you, man?
Rido.
Cool.
1000%. I don't care anything about Dante. I mean, not to say I haven't played the Devil May Cry games. This is the first time I've seen Rido, and I'm like, I want to see more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Jacob asks, why is Steve not in SMT 3? I don't know. I feel like it was another... Again, I really don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to hold off on certain things. But did you play Nocturne, Jacob? I feel like he wouldn't be natural if he was in the game. in a way because of how it is in the game.
Why is it Joker and Nocturne?
Joker from Persona 5. Let's go.
Why isn't Joker and Nocturne?
I don't know, man. Let's ask him. Where's Joker? Where's my bro? My dude.
Still in my heart. You know, that's what would really make Nocturne successful if Joker was in it, because it would become the best-selling game of all time.
Possibly, dude. I mean, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore as Joker, and it flopped. So.
Let's not forget, that is both the best Fire Emblem and SMT game.
All right, next question is from... Gotta call you on that bullshit, dude.
I don't give a fuck about Fire Emblem.
I wouldn't expect less from a freaking 2022 boy here, so... All right.
Go fuck yourself.
P3 Enjoyer, please shut up. Next question is from...
God damn it, dude.
Next question is from GamerRido21. The question is, a friend of mine say some SMT fans don't consider Nocturne as a true SMT game because Persona fans are playing it.
The fuck are they talking about?
Dude,
don't.
No.
What the fuck are you?
No.
Stop. Next question.
No, that was his friend. It's not him. But yeah,
I know, and his friends are fucking stupid and have the IQ of -4. Next question.
Yeah, that's probably your friends are an elitist, I would say.
Fucking dumb.
That's dumb. That's a dumb mentality. Like, I'm glad Persona 5 and Smash Bros brought a ton of fan, and a ton of people are gonna buy Nocturne. I'm glad because of those series and games.
You know, I can see where people, David, like you, who grew up with like SMT, you played SMT first, right? Before Persona.
No, I played. No. I started with Persona. I started with Persona 3.
Which one? You cut off there.
3.
Your favorite?
Yeah. Base Street, by the way.
From the rest of the fucking series, David.
I mean, I'm supposed to have nostalgia for P3, and I don't, so it's the first one that I played.
God damn it. But it's like, when people hate on Persona 5, I think it's the most ridiculous fucking thing I've ever heard. Because that is my fucking roommate, my cousin. He got into the fucking... He doesn't play a goddamn thing of JRPGs and everything, and he fucking loved Persona 5 Royal. Stop fucking hating people for liking Persona 5 Royal. You're fucking stupid. You're fucking elitist. Go fuck yourself. If you don't like it, I can see where certain people, like SMT fans, who think it's not, it's too easy, that are like, okay, it's too easy, I can't really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But there's a fucking reason why there are multiple difficulties.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fucking thing.
Dude.
So anyone who hates Persona 5 fucking can just go fuck themselves. Like, if you're one of those fucking haters out there, go. I can't blame you enough. Get off the Twitter, delete your fucking account. No one cares about what the fuck that you say.
Oh, that was excellent. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. That segment was great. So, okay, I don't have anything to add. That was perfect. Next question is from Demi Crow. Do you think we'll see the Xbox version of SMT3 at E3? I kind of teased that.
I think we have a better chance of seeing an SMT9 remaster on Xbox.
Eesh, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Now, I briefly talked about that in one of my videos. I teased that Xbox at E3 is going to be interesting for us Sega fans. I don't want to say anything, but it's going to be interesting. We're going to keep a close watch on Xbox at E3, but it's not SMT3, Demicro.
Bro, you're not. No, I mean, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, you're saying about Persona being on Xbox. I mean, I think it's a possibility.
I heard certain things, dude. I heard certain things.
Send me those links.
I mean, yeah, Xbox. We'll stay tuned, but not SMT3, Demicro. Not SMT3.
What if Persona 3 comes to Xbox and not Persona 4?
All right, next question is next question is from Guillermo Souza here, asking, what's the best reason in your opinion? No TDE or freedom, only the reasons. Kind of hard to answer without without spoiling, But I like Shaki's reason. I like all of them. Izamu's great too, so I don't know.
Katana Riku, welcome to the stream, by the way. He says he doesn't think Atlas likes Xbox right now. What do you think about that, David?
They probably don't care about Xbox, but do you know what they care about? Microsoft's money. And Microsoft can sign a big fat check and Atlas will dive right in. That's the thing. I mean, if Persona 5 gets on Xbox before Switch, I wouldn't even be surprised because Nintendo isn't willing to pay that big fat check that Microsoft wants and desperately needs. They want big JRPGs on Game Pass. And what's the biggest JRPG in recent year in the West? The Japanese RPG, the biggest one.
Dragon Age 11 is.
They got it. And then there's Persona 5. And Persona 5 is even bigger. So, man, I swear, I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. E3.
I'm not saying that it's out of the realm of possibility. It's just
not
hard for me.
You'll see fucking Joker on Xbox. I'm telling you, man.
We'll see. But then again, after the fiasco, Yakuza 0 through 6 released exclusively on PS4. Except for the Yakuza 1 and 2 remasters on Wii U. That was fucking weird. I don't know why they did that shit. But,
exclusive in Japan.
On PS3. And then, Like a Dragon, the next gen version released exclusively on Xbox for
Microsoft signed a fat check once again.
Money talks.
Mm-hmm. Every time that I hear freaking Persona 5 can't get on Xbox, kind of tickles my balls a bit. So,
I mean, shit. Microsoft would pay that fucking money if Atlas would allow it. Shit, and I wouldn't.
They want it. Atlas wants that check.
I would not blame them whatsoever.
I wouldn't.
Even if it came to Game Pass.
For real. That's a good move. If Persona 5 gets on Xbox, it's a Game Pass game. 100%. Game Pass is, they're all on Game Pass, so. Alright, enough with Persona and Xbox. The next question is from Realheim asking, how do I start social links in Nocturne? Next question is from... that was too dumb to answer.
You turn off the fucking game.
Yeah, you turn it off and you play Persona 3. Next question is from CRTNN. What is your problem with P3, David? You think it's really that bad? It really isn't.
David, I want to hear what your fucking problem with P3 is, you fucking shithead. Tell me, what the fuck is wrong with P3? And I'm going to fucking judge you on a scale of 1 to 10 about how petty your arguments are. Go ahead.
Persona 3 is not a bad game. It's a bad Persona game. It's the pacing in the game and all of Neo Persona is trash, but it's especially bad in 3. The social link is... I'm not a big fan of social links in general, and in P3 they're bad social links. Most of them are. The great ones are locked behind 70 hours of gameplay. Tartarus, I hate it. The music is not bad, but it's not the best soundtrack. Far from it in all of Persona, and it's a downgrade from P1, PS1. And P2.
You don't have to say that PS2.
That was close. So, for all those reasons. But again, it's not a bad game. It's like a 7.5 out of 10. It's really not bad.
You're a fucking lie. You would rate it a 4.5 out of 10 and throw it in the fucking dumpster before you ever gave it a 7.5. Go fuck yourself, David.
It's a solid 7.5, but...
Yeah, I don't want to hear your shit right. You're fucking like Simply Dad over here shitting on the game for no fucking reason. It's the fucking first Hashino Persona game. Of course it's gonna have problems. You need to go fuck yourself like all the other fucking Persona 3 haters. It has the best story in the series. Although you have to fucking romance everybody.
Dude, you never played P2, so yeah, it's possibly the best then.
Go fuck yourself.
Play P2. Weeb. You fucking weeb. Alright, great question. Thank you, CRTN. That was great.
Hey, Persona 3 has a better soundtrack than Persona 1 PS1.
That doesn't even deserve an answer. That's too dumb. Alright, next.
Says the guy who would throw Persona 3 in the fucking trash can.
Yeah, that's right. That's right where it belongs. Right next to Kingdom Hearts, right, VC? Alright, next question is from Captain Chaz86 asking, they originally said they were interested in adding additional guest characters. Your thoughts on why we haven't heard anything since? Are we still talking about Nocturne?
Joker.
God. For this reason. Because
Narukami makes a surprise appearance on SMT 3 Nocturne.
God
destroys
damn.
everybody with Izanagi no Okami.
I kind of want to say, though, I kind of want to...
Kratos from God of War appears.
No. I kind of want a guest character in SMT 5. I'd like it. I want Kiryu. I want Kiryu and Majima.
Who doesn't? I mean, both in the game and sexually. Who doesn't want Kiryu?
Oh, yeah. I want them, man. Let's go. Both those dudes, man. Put them in SMT 5. That'd be cool. Travis Touchdown, Bayonetta. I don't know. I like those DX2, like SMT DX2.
Wait, doesn't Shin Megami Tensei 5 already exist? I thought it was called Persona 5.
Are you Game Rent? Are you?
So Shin Megami Tensei 5
needs to be like Persona 5.
Dark Souls of the Persona series.
I mean, Yakuza Like a Dragon is Persona 5 with adults, with shitty adults, and 13 Sentinels is Persona with robots.
Do you know? I don't think I realized how far back my eyes could roll in the back of my fucking head until I heard Like a Dragon was Persona for adults, with adults in it. Like, I don't,
dude, 13 Sentinels is worse. 13 Sentinels is worse. The title of the fucking article is Persona with robots. A 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim review. That's so dumb. That's so dumb.
Close. Oh my god.
That
These
journalist
people need to be fucking fired from their job.
Dude, that journalist is clearly a P3 enjoyer. That's for sure.
My god. I don't support cyberbullying, but
dude, you do support it. You praised Faz at the beginning of this stream, and he bullies me every day. So.
By the way, cyberbullying, just saying.
Take a breath, Narukami. Why can't people...
I get in these rants, and I just can't fucking stop sometimes.
Nah, they're great. Don't stop. Retrig 202...
Don't worry, David. I'll never stop with you, David.
Oh, God. Retrig 202 asks, why can people be happy that more people are being turned onto Megaten because of Persona elitists are stupid?
Because there are fucking people in David's Discord server that are fucking elitists.
Yeah, there's a couple of elitists in there. I'll give you that. But dude, yeah.
I will say, I commend those elitists for being so passionate about their game. Mm-hmm. But come the fuck on. Yeah. Let other people enjoy games.
Yeah, for real, man. I agree.
By the way, gamer ratio, as sometimes cyberbullying is a necessity. I don't give a fuck about Sonic, but in the case of the Sonic movie, yes, cyberbullying was a necessity.
Love it. I don't give a fuck about Sonic either, dude.
Did we just get rid of every fucking review code that we ever could get?
Probably. I'm like, hey, dude, I'd like to have a review code for Yakuza Like a Dragon 2. And they're like, didn't you say fuck Sonic on stream at some point?
Probably. I would rather watch paint dry than play a fucking Sonic game.
Oh, man, dude, that was a great segment. But, hey, Retrig, facts, man. I agree. That's dumb, man. Please accept any new fan, whether they...
It's a great mascot for furries. Sega, your real mascot's Jack Frost. Sonic doesn't have the charm or anything. Fuck Sonic, man.
Yeah, I'm sure Jack Frost would say that. Fuck Sonic.
I will say I will lose every fucking Sega endorsement that I have when I will say true to my word. Fuck Sonic. I never had a modicum of fun with any of his fucking games. It's just fucking running and jumping.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have Tails and you have a Shadow. I don't give a fuck about those guys. They're fucking cartoon characters. They're not put in fucking real life situations. The only thing that was remotely close to real life when it comes to Sonic was a fucking live action movie. Even then, we had to resort to cyberbullying to make it good.
I want to ask you this question, and this next one is from Brandon B, and he asks us, It was too hard for me to beat P4G in normal difficulty. Should I play SMT 3?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I played. Okay, this is the way I went with the series. I played P5, P3, P4G, P5, P5R, all on easy. You know, I'm doing just fine on Nocturne, on normal.
Yeah. If you're familiar with the mechanics, and take your time and like fuse demons a lot, use buffs and debuffs, change your Magatamas at all times, go for a physical build.
Yes, or magical. It doesn't matter. Just put all your stats into put all your stats in agility first off, but also put all your other stats in either physical or magical. Don't flip flop one. But if you go into the game expecting it to be like a cakewalk, like Persona, you're in. And I'm not saying Persona 3 can be tough at times, but I'm talking about like Persona 4 and 5. If you go in expecting, and especially Royal, you need to learn the mechanics of the game. But yes, please play it. Try it. Just don't play merciful. Try the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Nah, dude, don't be scared. Take your time and
there was a little like, what's the word am I looking for?
I'm not sure.
I was a little scared at first about Nocturne because I heard all these things about it. It's a hard game.
Yeah.
Matador's fucking hard. You won't be able to pass it. I mean, but just learn the fucking game. Don't turn your brain off. Learn. Speak with all the characters. If you have to look up a walkthrough,
do it.
Look up a walkthrough. There's no shame in that. I look at walkthroughs for almost every game. The only reason I was able to get the true ending in Persona 5 was because I looked up a fucking walkthrough. Same with Persona 4. I mean, and same for pretty much any JRPG out there. There is no shame in looking up a walkthrough. Do not be intimidated. That's the thing. Intimidation. That was the word I was looking for. I was intimidated at first. But then I actually got into the game, started playing it, and it was fine. And the best part is, you can change the difficulty at fly.
Yeah, that's a cool thing too. I liked it for review purposes because I wanted to talk about Merciful, but it's also cool for like, it's also cool for just if you, some bigger fans or older fans are not gonna agree with me here, but I say there's nothing bad to like if you're really struggling against one particular boss. What blocks you from just turning it to Merciful for this particular boss, beat it, and then move on? What's the issue here? I mean, there's
no issue.
Don't be scared. Play it the way you want to play it and have fun, man. Don't care about what people say, and it's cool.
Don't believe the fucking memes about Matador. I beat him second try. I've said that multiple times during the stream. For
real. And Psycho Entic here says Nocturne is pretty easy after the Hellbiker, except for the Fiends and the TDE final boss. Kinda, dude. Kinda, because I mean, I'm trying to think here, like, yeah, the Morris sisters are kind of hard, but not that much. Black Frost is hard, though. Black Frost is pretty hard.
There is a boss, I don't want to spoil it, but there is a boss, because I made a physical build. There is a boss towards the latter section of the game that nullifies or even repels physical attacks.
Yeah.
All I did was think with my head and say, okay, I need to build my team around magical attacks. And my main guy's probably just going to pass his turn, use
buffs and debuffs,
pass it to the next person. Or I had a very strong force skill, one force skill in my arsenal that requires 25 magical points. Use that until it's dry, pass my turns after that. It'll be fine. Don't be scared. Do not be scared. This is coming from someone who played fucking easy on every Persona game that he's played. Don't be scared.
Yep, 100% agree. Play the way you want to play it, and facts, Patatas, Strange Journeys dungeons are...
And don't quit after you get killed once by a boss.
Oh no, please don't. Quit. You can't quit anyways.
Save as much as you can.
Yeah.
Save as much as you can. Buffs and debuffs.
Please, buffs and debuffs. I insist. That's the most important one.
Recruit.
Yep.
all that you can.
Fuse a lot.
And you'll be fine.
Psycho 100% DDS is way harder than Nocturne.
Really?
It really is. Like
I've never heard that opinion before.
No. It really is. Like Psycho just said that in the chat, and I 100% agree. In DDS, for certain bosses, you absolutely need to reach a high tier mantra before you get to fight it.
I've heard of one boss in DDS that's almost impossible.
Demi-Fiend is the hardest one, but there's other bosses that are super hard in DDS. Like especially in the final dungeon, there's some hard bosses in there, and man, to me at least, DDS was harder than Nocturne. It takes more time and more grinding to build your characters the way you want to build them, because you can't fuse. There's no skill inheritance. You have your 4 party members, and that's with, well, you have 6. Yeah, you have 6, but 4 on field at a time. Nah, dude, DDS is good, but I think it's harder. I really think so. Which makes 4 very easy. You get through the first difficulty spike, and then it's easy.
My girlfriend has had a tough time with the tutorial on SMT4 for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I find that hard to believe because that's the tutorial, but I kind of want to believe her from what I've heard before.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the first section of the game is the hardest. So
it's the hardest because it forces you to learn the mechanics. It forces you to care about the resistance and weaknesses in it.
Oh shit! You actually have to play the game the way it was intended.
Yes,
holy fuck.
That's the thing.
Holy
fuck.
Yeah. Without having to turn down the difficulty setting, holy fuck.
That's impressive, right?
Yeah, I mean, why would games ever do that? Why would they want you to learn the way it's supposed to be played?
Weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. All right, so I think we're getting ready to wrap things up here. We answered all the questions that we had here. We're up to date on our chat, so thank you for joining me tonight, bro. Appreciate it. That was fun.
Of course, man. Anytime. I'm up for anything, and I look forward to our little debate here.
Yes, sir. That's going to be a blast. We're definitely going to do that. You've heard it here first. Look out for an announcement, but we'll do that before E3 100%. It's going to be fun. And thanks to all of you who joined us tonight. That was really fun. If you enjoyed the podcast, before you leave, if you could drop a like, that would be cool to show your support. But you guys have been amazing during the whole podcast. That has been great. And if you want to hear more about Nocturne, again, please check out my friend KingNarukami's review. I have his link down in the description below. Check him out. Show him love on that review. Plus, big things are coming on his channel too, so...
Julian, I just saw this in the chat right quick, if you don't mind me.
No, for sure, man.
Well, hearing someone who doesn't like Dark Souls, that hits different. Dark Souls is challenging to be fucking challenging. It's just not fun. I'm sorry. It's Nocturne. It's fair. It's challenging, but it's fair.
Well
Dark
balanced.
Souls is like, no. It's just challenging to be challenging.
Yeah, and no, Carlos, it's not that tough. It's not as tough as people make it out to be. It isn't. It just isn't. So don't worry about it. Any final words you want to say?
I enjoy my time with Nocturne. I'm looking forward to many other SMT games that I'm going to play in the future, except for Persona 1. I'm probably never going to play SMT 1 and 2 because of how dated they are. But I'm looking forward to my future with Shin Megami Tensei series. And I think the future is bright with how well this remaster has sold.
Dude, 100%. It really is. It is bright, and it's going to be a blast. I cannot wait to just play more. Play more Nocturne. And play more SMT. You guys, before we wrap things up, you can also find us on Sunday on the Midnight Channels podcast. We're both going to be on his show talking about Nocturne. So both King and I
go watch his review as well.
Yes,
he had a review of SMT.
Absolutely. So see you then, guys. Thank you so much for the support tonight. Take care. Have a good one, and please enjoy your time with Nocturne.